Hello and welcome to episode 25 of our Timberborn 1.0 experimental playthrough with Folktales faction, our finale for this series, cycle 44, day 19. We got 6 days left in the bad tide, but we've solved that problem a long time ago. Well, in real life it's been almost a month, but in game terms, it's probably been a couple episodes since we got everything fully diverted. But in terms of, stuff that we could still do with the map, sure, there's a lot, but we've got to move on. So we're going to do a couple of things that you guys asked to see, try and get a couple more achievements, and then put this playthrough to bed with a grand finale of sorts as we set off these earth recultivators. They do still have to finish building them, and this one over here is not super close in terms of treated planks, and we only have 2 right now, so we probably should start making some more of those. We do have... Oh, these aren't connected. Oh, I remember why. So I'd paused a whole bunch of different types of power generation because I was confused about how the one achievement worked. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but let's get this unpaused. I don't know how many more power generation things I've got paused. I think they should be all... No, there's one more over here. No, that's that's that thing. Okay. So there's an achievement where if you generate, I think it's 10,000 HP with windmills only, then you get the achievement. And I got a lot. Right now it's not obviously generating that much, but in theory, these large wind turbines here, oh, they changed the name. That's right, that was an update a couple weeks ago. It's been a while since I've opened this save file, but these used to be called windmills, now they're wind turbines, whatever. I still called bots golems for, I don't know how many series after they made that change, and that was 4 years ago. Anyway, but you can see right here, the power supply just absolutely skyrockets just as soon as these things get turned on. So I think what might be a smart idea is for us to just give this a shot, just disconnect this bank of windmills, wind turbines, or whatever, and see if it gives us the achievement. Yep, there it is. Windy day, as Folktales generate 10,000 HP using only the wind turbines in a single power network. Alright, well that was easy. A little anticlimactic, but you know what? I'll take it. The other ones that I wanted to get, 200 hedges. I don't remember if I actually got that one or not. I probably should have checked. I'm not really that worried about that one. That's easy to get. The 3 wonders going off at once. That's going to be the last one. We got the 1 kilometer of zip lines, the 1,000 maple pastries with no other food. I originally said I wasn't going to do because that would be a huge pain in the butt. But a couple of you have encouraged me to try it, and I think there's going to be a not super difficult way to accomplish that. And that would be for us to build near the district center one of these large warehouses. And just for the purposes of this achievement hunting challenge, set it to maple pastries, set it to obtain, and then once that's built, just remove path access to every other storage. Is it a little cheesy? Yeah. But have we basically already proven that we have what it takes to do all that? Yeah, also. So, I think it's going to be fine. So we'll let them, take care of that as time goes by. The max average well-being is pretty hard to do with the Folktales because the Folktales are always going to have children. Unlike the Iron Teeth, where you can have the adult beavers pop out of the baby beaver brewing buckets. The Folktales are always going to have... Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Always going to have these guys down here at the bottom in the beaver child category. And they're not going to have access to the full gamut of well-being things just by virtue of being, well, a beaver child. So you can see we've got one that has 29 well-being, one that has 58, and the average adult is at 51. So, could things be a little bit better? Yeah, they could. But overall, I feel like we've done pretty well. We built everything except the earth recultivator, which, well, we have built it. We haven't set it off yet. And a lot of these, I think, could be massively improved by shortening working hours and replacing some of these other jobs with bots. So we're going to see what happens. I've got 8 bots that have absolutely nothing to do currently. And we do have probably some jobs that would be better automated than others. I don't know that it's really that big of a deal. We've got under here, of course, our whole bot city thing. Whoa, this is a new... Oh, this is really... I hold down Alt and I move the mouse and then it peels back all the layers. I was used to using the scroll wheel. But you know what? Honestly, I don't know if I like this or not. It's neat. It's definitely a cool feature to have, but might take me a little while to get used to that. Anyway, we've got all these tanks down here. We've got these bot things making bots, and in theory, if we let this thing go a little bit longer and we actually supplied it with enough materials, then we could probably just off of this have, I don't know, 100 something bots, and that would take care of most of our jobs. But we're running into an issue now where we got bots that are running out of juice. And oh, they also made it so you could zoom out further. You used to not be able to come out this far. I think it might have only been maybe like this far. But now we've got a lot more room, which is kind of cool. Still working on that. Anyway, this whole thing, I was getting so excited about all this. I just can't stop. We need to have more wood workshops, and we do technically have not enough planks. And what's paused under here? Gear workshops. Okay, that's fine. Those should stay paused. I don't really want to make more lumber mills. I think some of our issues could possibly be solved. Well, not right now because we have all of these, you know, bad water poisons going everywhere. But assuming we're not in a bad tide, get this on triple speed, enough of the nighttime. We could just come in and, you know, whack out all these platforms, and that would probably get us most of what we're looking for in terms of planks to do everything else. I think that's probably the reason why we don't have a whole lot of these treated planks, because we've got a full storage of pine resin. That has not been the issue historically. So we'll see what happens, but I do have 5 more days until that is a thing. And we've got all these trees down here to get us all of our different things. We've got all of the trees that we're using for logs that theoretically, if we're not attempting to do these enormous construction projects simultaneously, should be more than enough for us to do what we've been attempting to do. All of that being said, I need to automate some more jobs. So, if we decide what can be most beneficial, bots as builders... As long as, I mean, Folktales is a little bit different than the Iron Teeth because you have to have the fuel, whereas the Iron Teeth have to have recharging stations. Those are a little bit easier, a little bit cheaper to build and maintain long term. So I think I'm going to take the bots off of builders. Instead, put them in... No, earth-through cultivators wouldn't make any sense. Definitely explosives factories, good that we've got that going. Foresters, they're definitely really well suited for foresters and lumberjacks, which that's going to give you your round-the-clock kind of stuff. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to be able to stick over here, but that should... Oh, I've still got 6 extras. That should get us a lot further in terms of what we're lacking right now. And, of course, that does mean we're going to have, you know, bot fuel. So somewhere kind of accessible to some of these things, we should have some fuel tanks for these guys. So I'll put 2 right here. Just have this set to biofuel and catalyst. I think I should probably prioritize these. Maybe not super prioritize them. We want to make sure we have one there. We've got this over here that already has one. Thank you, lag. And in terms of cutting down trees for, well, cutting down tree purposes, that's the only spots on the map that are really of any concern. We've got some over here. We already said that. We've got some there. We've got some there. There's not really a lot of other spots on the map, with the exception of, say, food production, which we do not currently have any storage for. I could right here put large tanks, but that requires planks, which we are kind of in short supply if you have been paying attention. So, do I already have these? I do. I think, yeah, those have been long since automated, or whatever you choose to describe those as. Yeah, we need the planks in a bad way, and I don't know that I've got any Okay, I've got some that are kind of accessible. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. But I do, in fact, have some here. So that'll give me 105. If I'm careful with how I do this, I shouldn't delete any power infrastructure. There we go. Yeah, they'll come pick those up right away. They are very, very eager beavers. There we go. That should solve most, not all. Oh, no, no, I don't want that. I definitely don't want that one to get destroyed. That was bad organization on my part. One of these, there we go. One of these here, it's that guy. That's the magical one that you can never, ever, 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 ever get rid of because it's actually structural. And there we go. Alright, so I think that's going to get us just about everything that we need immediately, short term, without having to come over here. I don't know if they can actually get into this, but why does that have... Oh, no, no, I can't do that one because that's got... Yeah, that's got the impermeable thing on there. It's going to give me 130. That's going to give me another 15. I don't know that I can actually get down here, though. Yeah, too far, cannot be reached. Okay, so... Oh, it's going to take me forever to get used to this. Is that toggleable? Doesn't seem like that is. So I don't even know how to really look for this. Object control, building, user interface. Okay, so this is what I'm used to. This is what I'm used to. Alt and scroll. But now it's just going with the mouse movement. I don't know that there's a way to actually restrict that. Oh well. Not anything I should really be worried about during a video. We don't need this anymore. So we know that can go away. That's actually supporting that. We don't want to get rid of that. I do want them to come and grab these planks. And then once they have that taken care of, then I can... Okay, don't care about the logs. Goodbye. Get rid of that bridge. We do not need... Yeah, we don't need this here. And this is how I get down into that tunnel. I know. Spend planks to make planks. You know how that goes. But... Yeah, we got 450-ish. Yeah, that's already paying dividends. Looking pretty good. That's ready to go there. Let's just get that set to obtain. Yeah. Working out nice. Yeah, so this immediately, as soon as we get any amount of planks, it stops being 0 or 1 and starts being, 18, 19, 20. That's fine. I can work with that. A little bit less than 3 days to deal with the rest of this. In terms of other bots that I wanted to assign to things, printing press isn't really a super high importance job. It's just a nice thing to have. Refiners are already done. Smelters are done. Tapper Shack wood workshops are all done. Paper mill's done. Mine's done. I mean, all the really dangerous ones seems are pretty taken care of. Now, bots as haulers are always good, but I don't think we're going to be needing that much. Okay, so food stuff. Food stuff is going to be the next thing, and that's what we're talking about over here. So that's fine. That takes care of 6. And then I think, yeah, bakeries should be the only other thing over here. Which is another 6 of those. And because of my hierarchy of prioritization, that should be fine. And we know we've got more and more bots coming. They are being mated. Mated is not a word. Sheesh. I guess with a T, that is a word. But that's not what we're talking about here. Yeah, they'll build these eventually. Alright, so that should take care of a lot of those issues. And then after that, the jobs that are left seem pretty inconsequential otherwise. So I'm going to try taking this... Because bots are going to work 24/7 no matter what. Beavers even have the concept of a 7-day week. Let's go to 14-hour days. Let's see if that boosts our well-being at all. I know there's still deficiencies in terms of what goes where for all of the different well-being things. Drink water. It's good for you. I don't need the science anymore. We definitely don't need the science anymore. Carousels going to town. How's our maple pastries? Okay, 128. Yeah, that needs to be prioritized right quick. And then I need to identify where the rest of my food is stored. Because I know I've got some over here that we don't need to have. We can get those. We can get those completely emptied out just for the purpose of this. And honestly, I don't think it really matters that much. Maple pastries. Goodbye. Goodbye. I don't know how I'm still picking the wrong button. There we go. So that's all the food there. We may or may not put those back. I want to get this achievement so we can be done with this. Let's see, there's no food over here. There is... No, that's raw materials. Okay, can't eat that. Well, you could if you really, really wanted to. I probably wouldn't recommend it. Do I have extra food over here? Are these crackers? That's just... Ah, that is. Well, these are supposed to be for the people in the Beaver Hospital. Or the Beavers in the People Hospital, or however you want to contort that. Alright, what over here? Yeah, see, some guy had to have the smart idea of, well, we're going to have all the different types of food over here. And, you know, well, who's laughing now? Not me. So now I get to take all these things out. I don't know that they're actually going to be able to remove all of these with any degree of expedience. I might just have to destroy the buildings, but that's annoying is what that is when that happens. So, let's just make sure there's no other food stored anywhere else on the map outside of that one thing. Yeah, no food over here, no food over here. Yeah. So, I'm going to pause the bakeries and the grills. I don't think there's really anything else that we need to... The reason I'm doing this is so that they can eat all of the remaining stuff and get it put in all the spots we're waiting for. So, maybe against my better judgment, but I'm going to time-lapse just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Get us out of this bad tide. Let them eat down some of the food. And then I'm going to try and disconnect all the rest of these food things to see if we can get that achievement for the maple pastries. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. Alright, so the food area over here is indicating that we're very, very close to only having maple pastries. So, I did have to pause the farms, and I'm about to check and see about my gathering flags. I kind of forgot about those. If we pause those, then there's no possible way they can gather any more things because the gathering flags will be turned off, the farms will be turned off, and then they just have to eat these remaining carrots and sunflower seeds, which in theory should be... Yeah, see, they're taking these things out. Actually, suppose I should... Oh, it's already being emptied, so I don't really need to be that worried about it. But if I have them come and do this faster, it probably doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't know that any of this matters. But it's where we find ourselves. Those two are empty, so yeah, it's literally just these three things that'll be accessible. Oh, I got an achievement. That's incredible. Reach average well-being of 60. I didn't see this hit 60, but the thing says I got it, so I guess I got it. That's fine. I actually don't remember where all of my storage for, well, anything is. Let's get maple pastries. I know I have 1,200 of those things. All right, this is where the shenanigans... Oh, come on. Okay, this is actually going to make me angry now. Maple pastries. Let's empty... No, that's the wrong button. There we go. Let's empty this one out. get everything in that one, and then I think, based on the fact that I've only got 61 berries, and oh, half of them are in here. Ooh. Okay. Okay, well, half the berries are in there. Alright, here's... This is so stupid. Why am I doing this? Berries, berries, berries. Okay. That is now going to be emptied. And then I think... Hopefully, if this can actually be emptied fast enough... And these, I always go to the wrong spot, can be emptied fast enough. They're not doing it. They're not going fast enough. Okay. Oh, I hate that this is how this is going to go. Let's hit pause. Let's get rid of this. So that is now completely disconnected. This is probably a lot more trouble than it's worth. But I want the achievement. I want the achievement. Okay, so if that goes... I'm going to have to just take this out right in front of the... there we go. Alright, so now all I've got is 1,100 maple pastries. Now, if the achievement is for exactly 1,000, then I guess we're going to have to wait for them to eat some of these. But I'm so curious if that's actually the case. Well, I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, the 14-hour working days does seem to have helped a lot of this. I'm going to give it until a little bit after sunset. There's the achievement. As folktales have 1,000 maple pastries and no other food. Yeah, well, guess what, bucko? I was hiding it the whole time. Alright, so that takes care of that. We can just immediately fix this. How do I always go to the wrong spot? I don't remember anything. Oh, there we are. Alright, so now that that's taken care of, I know I can put these back in. This is set to empty. Now it is not set to empty. And just redo all this. I wanted to check and see what this looked like with lower working hours, and it seems like stacks, we probably could have some more lanterns. Lanterns, scarecrows, and weather vanes. Those are not going to be too hard to put in. That's about it, honestly. So, let's just find ourselves a couple of these, maybe somewhere we could put in. You know what? 2 of those right there probably would not be the worst thing ever. Let's get that emptied out so that can be removed. And I think... I always go to the wrong spot for this. Okay. Now that this is a thing, I just need to put these all back in here. Yeah, I'm absolutely regretting doing this because this has become a huge pain in the butt. That's fine. Cattail crackers. What the heck was in here? I don't remember. I guess that's it. Well, if that was, sure, why not? We'll put carrots. I already have cattail crackers. I already have that, so chestnuts, and then... no, that was grilled. I hope I did grilled chestnuts over here. And... grilled potatoes. Alright, so that is, I believe, the 8 major food groups, which we can no longer see. Minus berries, because nobody cares about berries. Yeah, okay. Alright, well that helps solve that problem. That needs to not be set to empty. That needs to not be set to empty. Things I do for achievements. Alright, now I have 8 of these here. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm just going to go a clockwise order. I don't think it's really going to matter that much. So that was the grilled chestnuts. That's the grilled spatterdock. That's going to be the bread. That's going to be whatever those are called, and that's that. Alright, so that takes care of that problem. That gets rid of that. These guys here are supposed to be berries, and this is supposed to be... what did I decide was over here? Was it carrots? I don't remember. You guys can rewind the video. I can't. Okay, well we're just gonna do carrots. So I've still got a deficit of 6 bots. Okay, I guess I should have expected that. Are the bots all getting Of course, I can't look at bot well-being. Nope, I need to go to the population tab. Come on. There we go. Alright, so a bunch of these have 2. Most of them have 2. The vast majority. Okay, well, what that tells us is that our coverage is pretty good on the catalyst, but not the punch cards. Punch cards needs a little bit of help. 1,500 books. I've got only 8 punch cards. Am I not making punch cards still? No, I am. Ah. Wait, no, we have planks. Why is that a problem? I don't know. Let's check our construction here. Okay, that still needs another 729 treated planks, and that still needs another. Oh, boy. All right, so now it is a question of how can we get some more productivity. So I've got room right here to put 1 more of these, and I will do that. I don't really have room anywhere else for basically any of this. So that's a little unfortunate, if we're going to be honest with each other. Explosives going away there. I guess that's fine. I was hoping not to, time-lapse half this episode. We might end up having to do it. So we got the 1,000 maple pastries. Got the we got the 60 well-being. I think there's another one for Max. If it counts Max as 70. Well, regardless, scarecrows and weather vanes. I did say I was going to put some of those in. So how about near some of our major population centers here? We've got one here, one here. They're mostly going to have to go through that because of that. Scarecrow-wise, which side is... Yeah, I'll face them that way. Why not? So that should help these guys here. And then I suppose I need to turn on... I probably need to turn my farms on again. Do not want to start a time-lapse with those turned off. Let me tell you what. That is definitely not a mistake I want to make more than once. I don't see... outside the hedges one that I can't remember if I actually got or not. I don't see much of else... much of else for us to be really worried about doing. There's one more thing I wanted to try and do, because I know we wanted to get our population up just a little bit, and some people said, hey, there's no beavers in the range of this earthworm cultivator. Well, it's a deep subject. I thought, why don't we just solve that problem by putting more beavers in the range of the earth recultivators? So, if I've got some there, some there, some there, just real simple stuff. Real simple stuff. I've got a doorway there. Let's actually flip-flop. Let's flip-flop. No, come on. F, there you go. Let's put that there. And we'll flip-flop this. And then I'll put that right there. So then, it's not a lot of beavers, but it's beavers. It's enough. Oh, I forgot we have L-shaped paths now. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a travesty. Mistakes have been made. Well, we know how to solve this problem, and that is going to be probably squarely in the domain of the spiral staircase. However, comma, we also have other technology. For example, putting a zipline station directly here instead of down here. So if I were to do that, I know this is just hideously ill-suited for this. But what do I always say? Trust the process, right? So I believe I'm not going to get away with this, am I? If I put a 2x, it's not gonna quite line up. Well, let's do our 2x. Hello, 2x. Why is this? Oh, because there's a what do you call it in the way? All right. Well, let's take this out, and then there we go. There we go. Zipline station right in the front, and instead. I mean, I don't really know that we need to have this over here, but it's already here, so why not? And that is... Yep, that's still going to be in range. It just has to actually be finished. And that's going to allow us to extend the terrain out to connect these housing units up here. And this, of course, is going to give us just a few more beavers. That'll, you know, populate this area just a tiny bit. Doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life, but sometimes it is helpful to have things that, you know, look just a tiny bit nice. And let's see, Farmer Monument doesn't quite reach everything, but a Brazier of Bonding sure does. Fountain of Joy, not really close enough for that to be a huge deal. So in the interest of trying to accomplish literally anything, I suppose what I will do... Come on, there we go. I'll just pop those on the other side because I can, and we'll just move on from there. In terms of well-being, probably doesn't hurt to have a detailer available. So we'll put one on either side. These could be my face. These people could be Gary. And let's see. We've got scarecrows. I don't really have a good spot for those outside of that. Lanterns are not a bad thing to have. Just stick there and there. And... let's see. Hedges, no. Don't think I want to go too crazy here. But if I put two of those there, and put some others here, that may get me closer to the 200 there. All right, how much more do I have to get them to do to just build this? Yeah, let's just grab... oh, they're actually almost done with all of these, except this guy. Yeah, so we'll get that put in. I'll take this to replace this thing, and then, honestly, it's probably going to have to be a time lapse to get the rest of these things done, because I don't know much else that I want to invest a whole lot of time and effort into doing if this is going to be the last episode anyway. So let's just get that taken care of. Of course, all of these playthroughs are available for you to download if you choose in the Google Drive linked in the description below. I don't update it every day, every time I make a new thing, but I will make sure that I do that when I upload this video. So if you want to download this and play with it yourself and say, oh, well, I want to make the whole map green, well, go ahead. It's yours to do with as you choose. And you want to poke around or, I don't know, just put a bunch of dynamite and blow everything up, that's, well, you can do that too. No rules against that. Let's see. Okay, so it's not really an issue with the treated planks anymore. It's almost more metal. But that's not going to be that big of a deal to finish that up, and this already has all of it. Alright, folks, come on. I know this needs 20 metal blocks, but I think I've got a couple here they're already bringing in. The rest of these just take logs and planks and all that other... Okay, some of these do take metal blocks. I don't think this is really that big of a deal. But now I do want to... I'll go ahead and take that out, get that hooked up there. There's some metal on the ground. There's not a ton, but it's going to be hopefully enough to get that up and running. Get this situated as it should be. And, you know, not to be the whole time-lapse guy, but that's kind of where we're at, folks. It's been a long playthrough. Shorter than some, but I've still had a whole lot of fun playing with the 1.0 experimental stuff. I imagine when the full release comes out, whenever that's going to be, I imagine probably sometime soon-ish. But whenever that does come out, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of other fun stuff we can take a look at. So, I know there's stuff that you wanted me to do, wanted us to do, I guess I should say, in this playthrough. Obviously I can't get around to everything, but I do really appreciate all the support, all the ideas, all of the, just everything that you guys have given for this. Because I think it's better when we all work together to try and figure stuff out. And just enjoy the process of figuring the game, like all the new stuff that comes in. It's much more fun bouncing ideas off of people. And I don't know, I could wait a week and, you know, watch someone who's actually good at the game play this and like, oh, that's what that does. Like, no. it's fun talking to you guys. That's how I like to do it. And I hope you enjoy that as well. But let's go ahead and come out of this time lapse, and hopefully these beavers have all this stuff built. Alright, so I'm going to cut in here because, one, this is taking a lot longer than I thought, and two, because, as you've probably noticed by now, I somehow forgot that the, whatever this thing is called, the Earth Repopulator, Earth Recultivator, I think it's the Recultivator, I really should know, but regardless, the one that was over the bot area was actually the one that was being built first. And I had the camera trained on the one over by the newer housing that we just put in instead. So, it happens. I'm not going to go back and refilm it, because why would I do that? But that other one's done, and now we're just waiting on this third one here. During the time-lapse, I also got the hedge achievement, so that's good progress. Which means every achievement that I wanted to get, with the exception of the 3 wonders at once, for this Folktales playthrough, we've already gotten. I know there's one for the water wheels, but I honestly don't want to go through and set that up. That could be for a future thing. So, all we have to do now is wait for them to make another, I don't know, 600-something treated planks and get those things shoved in there. And then, folks, we'll take a look at some other things around the map. Maybe see if I can get that well-being up just a tad bit higher. And that's going to be all she wrote. So by the time I'm done talking, they'll be done building, and then we can move on. Alright, folks, it's been 84 years, but finally, we have all 3 Earth Recultivators constructed. They do still have to fill up with all of the resources they need to launch, so that will take just a little bit longer. We do have the resources ready to go, but, you know, Cycle 46, Day 13, it's probably not too far off from a drought or a bad tide. So, let's take a look at our well-being. It did get up to 63. As a reminder, the maximum in vanilla, I believe, is 70 until you set off one of these bad boys. So, no, it's not going to let me do that until I exit out. All right, let's try this again. So, on 12-hour workdays, which I did reduce during the time-lapse here, hunger's looking good, thirst is looking good, sleep shelter, wet fur, not quite. We can pretty easily solve that with a couple more Lidos or a path through a river. Surprisingly, carrots are not looking as good as everything else, but we are pretty much there. Social life stuff is looking okay. We probably could put another campfire and a contemplation spot or 2 in. Honestly, aesthetics are looking pretty good. Scarecrow, weather vane, maybe I could put 1 more in. Fountain of Joy, I don't want to build another one all the way over here. I still might do it, but stuff is looking pretty good, folks. So let's take just a small moment of time here, as I do think I can make this work. Let's do, just for the sake of having something available here, I suppose, if it's a 5x5, right? Fountain of Joy? Yeah. I can just put this right in front of this thing right here, which is going to require that goes there. And then I believe, if that is actually the correct height, I should be able to put the 3x3 there, and then that on top of there as soon as that gets exploded. Beaver boom. And then I want my buckets pouring out this way. And that should, you know, they can't reach it, but that should, at some point before the heat death of the universe, get us all set, ready to go. So I will enable them to do that construction, which of course is going to require that I come out to right about here. So that'll make that possible. And then we also were talking about mud pits, and that is something. It's a 3x3, might as well. And stick this right about here. We don't actually have a direct connection from up top to down low, so I figured right around here is probably going to be the best possible place for us to do a little bit of downward progression. If I just go down here, 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 beaver boom, that actually does not need to be there. This can be 1 more that way. Let's actually rotate this, and then I can explode this one. This, of course, will be a spiral staircase. This is already a spiral staircase, and then that will get that hooked up right there. But if we have the ability to do even just a small thing, we might as well do it, right? I'm going to get this set in here first, just so we don't have to be waiting forever on suboptimal pathing. Let's get this spiral staircase in place. Hit that rotate button. And I think they can still... oh, the problem with the 12-hour work days is that they stop working after 12 hours. What a concept, huh? Alright, beep and boom. And then this is going to go here. Nope. There we go. So that will help get that all taken care of right there. And now we're up to 63. What was it that I was missing? I guess I could do a scarecrow contemplation spot. That was the other one. That's the other one I wasn't quite sure. Let's put, just put 2 of those right next to each other. Why not? Is this actually empty? Nope, there's 9 left. That's fine. Now, we did have a couple things in here that I guess was fine. Do I have contemplation spots over here? I should have... Oh. I never actually did put any in. Okay. Well, that's easy enough to do. Just put one there, put one there. Mud Pit's probably could have another one somewhere. Do I have one up here? Boy, am I glad that mute button works when I have to sneeze. Otherwise, that's very annoying. Let's see. Okay, I should put another campfire in, and that might actually do it. Got this big empty space right here that isn't really, you know, serving any function. And if, you know, if we wanted to sit here for another 3 episodes, I probably could put a whole bunch more stuff, but let's be honest, we all have better things to do with our time. I got 3 other series to wrap up, and then I'm trying to start a couple more and move into some new stuff people have been practically begging for me to do for years. But we've been so busy with the beavers, and hey, that's not a bad thing. This is a fantastic, wonderful, amazing, incredible game, and I am so glad I have the chance to actually spend some quality time here and end up supporting myself, which is incredible, at least in part, by just, you know, playing with some silly beavers on the internet. You guys are the folks that make that possible. So, campfire going in should help that. Contemplation spots, I got a couple more of those down. Scarecrow. I have a scarecrow here. I don't remember putting a weather vane in. So that could be something that would go right there. That would be a nice addition to that. And then, you know, folks, I think that's probably going to be about as much as we can do. Short of just not having any beavers work at all. Yeah, it's mostly just the social life and the aesthetic stuff, which, I mean, obviously they've got access to basically all of it. I put a couple more detailers in. I know they have access to those. So it's pretty much just the bots. All right, so jobs that beavers are working that beavers don't need to be working. Well, one, we don't need more than, at least not anymore, a couple beavers. These are bots in the Badwater rig. We'll go down to 1. We've got bots in the bakery, bots in the assembler, bots in the bot part factories. We don't have them in the builders' huts, but these are, you know, not really essential jobs anymore. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to close. Say, I know we're still, you know, technically making stuff, but I'll leave 2 of these, so we'll have 12 combined with the district center to finish building the, what do you call it? That's fine. Centrifuge, both bots, the dirt excavator, we probably don't need to have on anymore. Oh, there's bots in the district center. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's fine. We can roll with that. Earth Recultivator is going to do Earth Recultivator stuff. That's fine. We got farmhouses that employs 9 beavers. Okay, explosives factory. I think I can safely pause that, send that bot working somewhere else. Fluid dumps kind of feel like a waste of beaver power. But, you know, we do need to keep the map green. And this, remember, this map only has 1 water source when you start. And it's this little Oasis pool right here. We put in all of these aquifer pumps and all this other stuff. We did a lot of stuff to this map. You remember what this looked like in the first episode. It's not even remotely recognizable. Foresters are all bots. This one is the only one set to replant dead trees, so that must be one of these. Gatherer flags probably don't need to be a thing. Gear workshops, most of these are paused anyway. That's all fine. Hauling posts are fine. Herbalist probably doesn't need to be on anymore. Water pumps are fine. Lumber mills are all bots. Lumberjack flags are all bots. The mine is fine. Observatory's paused. We don't need that. Paper mill's all bots. Printing press is not, actually. So why don't we put some bots in those? That should help. Not that we really need to have that. Let's see, refineries, smelters. I know this says 92 beavers, but honestly, we don't have that many beavers doing actual super crazy, ridiculously important jobs. I got 6 more of these bots I can stick somewhere. Where do I want to stick them? Probably gonna make the most sense to stick them in the farms and just have these all be 2 employees, at least for right now. Yeah, so we got beavers in fluid dumps. We got beavers in some of the remaining builders' huts. We've got beavers in these things, the cultivators. So that is, honestly, folks, that's probably about as good as we're going to get without spending another, like, 3 episodes doing this. The well-being's still at 62. Like, it's not hard to get to max well-being, and it's a lot easier to do it with the Iron Teeth, so I think I'm just going to leave that achievement for the next Iron Teeth run we have. But honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Again, it's not perfect, but we did our best. We have 0.7 days until we have a what do you call it? A drought coming in. So, folks, I think today is the day. I think now is the time. Before we are done, let's just take a look at some of the different things that we've done and made and improved. Remember, this is where the whole thing started. Just one water seep here. Now we got all sorts of trees growing for food and industry products. We've got farms up here. We got our kind of experimental try to make something look nice, and then it didn't look that nice at all. Housing complex over here. We cleaned this thing up. This is a huge mess. Yeah, I'm not really proud of the aesthetics of this one, to be perfectly honest with you. But, I mean, this still looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it still looks pretty nice. We've got our multi-level food storage facility over here. We got power going all over the place. We got underground irrigation. We still got a lot of cool stuff done here. So, I hope you can be satisfied with that. Let's set these off. Remember, we're paused now. We're going to hit launch. 99 balloons and counting. Build and launch the wonder as the folktales. Well, wait until I hit this 3rd one. And there we go. There's that achievement. Overachiever. Launch 3 wonders at the same time. And now I just have to find a spot where we can watch all of these go. Remember, I don't have the first-person view mod because this is vanilla. So, now we get to see all of these things fly up into the sky. Well-being of 68 should go a lot higher than that. Look at that, folks. Isn't that just fantastic? I had a lot of fun with this one. I hope you did, too. Let's look at all those lanterns. High score of 69. Hope it goes higher than that. It should go up to 72, 73 by the time this is all said and done. But yeah, I think that's a nice end to this one, don't you? Congratulations! You mastered Folktale's nature-oriented ways and used this map's resources to build the faction's wonder. Having collected great wealth and knowledge, your beavers shared fruits of their labor with the suffering planet. There's still much to do, but Earth may flourish once again. Yeah, see, that's what that map looked like right when we started. We've done a lot, folks. So, 973 days, 1,464 beavers born, 239,699 water drunk, 5,125 tails painted, 95,605 trees cut, 0 teeth chipped. That doesn't seem right, but I'll take it. 198 bots manufactured, 1,320 dynamite detonated, and 1 beavers exploded. Okay, well, 1 beaver exploded, but that's fine. Well done. well done, everybody. So you already know. Beard Boosters are the people that make this stuff possible, so that we don't have to have sponsors in any of these videos. We can just have fun playing the game and doing what comes next without having to worry about chasing the algorithm or any of that stuff. I like doing it that way, and I hope you do too. That's, as long as I'm doing this on YouTube, that's exactly how I want to do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your incredible support, and I hope you'll be right back with us again as we forge new paths with all the other fun stuff that 1.0 has to offer with the Iron Teeth and other factions as well. But I'll let you guys know sometime this week about a poll to select what our next series is going to be. And don't forget, we have those other 3 series that we're still working to finish. We got the Ember Pelts, we got Project 1K, which, yes, that is still getting finished. And we have the Water Beavers in Update 6, and that is probably going to be pretty soon completed as well. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.